Hello, Mixed Nutcases and Dog Days of podcasting listeners. This is Nick Chess. And if you are 80, please stay on this earth. Yeah. So Dolly passed yesterday, and then Tim Curry passed today. Now, I know he had a myriad of health problems, but I've been enjoying some interviews from him in the last year or so. I guess he came out with a book. I'm going to have to read that book, his memoir. I think it's called Vagabond or whatever. Yeah, just stop for a minute, people. Yeah. So I've been really able to catch up finally with, all of the dog days, which has been a lot of fun. I think part of the reason I've been able to catch up is this is a pretty scant year. We don't have as many regulars. There's some people that have done one-offs or just a couple episodes, or, just not quite keeping up. But the ones that seem to be going every day, we've got Mad Marv, Chris Moody, Mark the Encaffeinated One, myself. I mean, I'm missing a few. Amy Bowen's doing it. She's missed a few as well. She's kind of in the same boat as me. Nick's has also, they've missed a few, but again, mostly there. And Michael Butler, I think. Oh, and then Paul Mackey. Yeah, we got that. And actually, yeah. And then we've got also Jay Langen with the Masterpiece Theater. You know what? There's actually a lot of people that are putting out some pretty regular episodes. I was thinking maybe not too many were, but now that I think about it, no, they really are. I got to say, Paul, your trivia questions are still just as hard as ever. But some of them, it's like, oh yeah, I knew that one. And then some of them I'm like, even with you giving me the answer, I have no idea what you're talking about. The bread thing. Oh man, if it was Untitled Goose Game or Vegas, the truck driving game to Vegas, what is that called? Desert truck. Well, anyway, I would have gotten those. But some of them I'm just sitting there going, huh? What? Yeah, but it's still fun because you learn a little bit of this little trivia. What I like about trivia is not just getting the right answer, right? Like everybody feels awesome when you get the right answer, but it's neat because you give us little extra tidbits, and it's really just learning little trivia bites, and that's what I like. I like the learning side of things. I like to learn. I'm such a nerd. And then we've got we've got the Lit RPG reviews going on, and I still gotta read that Dungeon Crawler Carl. That's supposed to be like that entrance to Lit RPG. I'm not sure that's going to be my thing, but I have enough people that I know that get enjoyment out of it. I gotta try it. It's one of those things where it's like just because it doesn't seem like your thing doesn't mean you shouldn't try it, right? Like in my family, we've got this thing, you don't have to like everything, but you got to try it. Give it 3 bites, because on your first bite, you've already decided you didn't like it, right? And it takes you 3 bites to really give it a fair try. And if after 3 bites you still don't like it, you just don't like it, And excuse me. Yeah, so I think you got to give everything a bit of a fair shake. So that's been really fun, just listening to everybody talk about those things. Man, Encaffeinated One, I wish I was there with you for the Renaissance Fair. It does sound like there was the organizers were overwhelmed at what happened. And it reminds me actually of the first HalCon. I don't think you were at the first HalCon. I think you started going at least year 2. But the first HalCon, which is a convention in Halifax, Nova Scotia, the first HalCon, it had been a convention that had been gone for 20 years, and it came back, and you're talking about an area of the country that was just starved for this kind of thing. And they broke all the fire codes. It was jam-packed. There was no way to keep people out, like when they had too many people in the convention center when they moved locations. This was in the Lord Nelson, and there were just way too many people. And I'll say that I think I made it to one panel the entire time. They didn't have a lot of panel rooms set up. The gaming room was very small. The dealer's room was pretty small as well, and they just had more than they could fit in there. And that's that. We were just like sardines, man. I mean, we were absolutely crammed with sardines, and there was a lot of things that didn't go off on time. Things didn't work out very well. If anything, I understand why they do the token thing. When I went to the Nightwave, it was all about drink tickets, and that the drink tickets was easy to understand because then that meant that they didn't have to deal with anyone handling money or card machines or anything like that, right? Didn't have to slow anything down. The bad part was they were paper at a water park. So you had to go get your ticket and then go over, and you couldn't hang on to them for very long. And they kind of sold them two at a time. It was weird. But with this token thing, the obvious problem is you have to wait online to get the token. Then you have to wait online for the food. And then, of course, you don't know how much you're going to spend, and everything's a little bit different. If it was just a 1-for-1, everywhere you went, it was just one token. I mean, that'd be one thing, but it really sounds to me like they were trying to figure out how to prevent how to have the deal with the problem of people not being able to exchange cash and things like that, and trying to simplify the vendors. I would actually email the organizers and tell them what a burden that was, just simply so that they can improve. But it also sounds like they were not expecting the level of people. They were not expecting to sell out. You know, I remember talking with you on the Weird Show. Actually, it was one of the few episodes that I was able to guest on, where we were talking about Renaissance fairs and how that wasn't really a thing up here. And with everything in the Maritimes, there is such a need, a thirst, a starvation for this kind of thing. So having a Renaissance fair or a Renaissance festival, like, that is just prime. This is a prime location. You know, Anna Maritimes became like the cosplay convention, and really you just had people showing up in droves, more people than any of the hotels or the convention centers can fit, just simply because people are starved for this. They want this, and they will come out. It's definitely if you build it, it will come. So I'm glad to hear that you're planning to go next year. I am sad you did not get the turkey leg. Although the turkey leg, I mean, it sounds like they had a lot of other really good things. So that's good. I'm sad that you struggled with lines after lines and were getting overwhelmed and had to go to Dairy Queen to get your lunch the first day. But it sounds like the second day was much better. And, you know, it is one of those things that there's growing pains. We're going to have growing pains as something new opens up. And if I judged HalCon just on its disorganization that first year and never went back, I would have missed all the things that it did become. You know, is it perfect? No. But again, you're dealing with an area that has such a need for a convention. And there's just, people need more geek things in the Maritimes. Pardon me. It's very late. I should be in bed, but I'm not. Just too busy. So yeah, no, it's really exciting. I kind of wish I was there with you. I haven't been to a Renaissance fair. Oh gosh. Well, the nibblings that I went with that were pretty small and like 10 years old or under are now both in university. So I think it was before I got married, which was how many years ago? 18? Yeah, 18 years ago. I can't remember. So yeah, so it's been a while. It's been a while. But I don't know if you got to see any jousting, if they had any jousting. It sounds like they had a lot of D&D stuff. That's actually kind of cool. I like the leaning into the fantasy side of it, that it's not just about being strictly historical. I did find it funny when you were talking about Scadians and SCA and stuff, and it's like you do realize you are friends with very big SCA people. There are people on this challenge that are SCA people, but that's okay. Well, it's one of those things you don't know till you start talking and you're like, oh right, I remember now. But no, it sounds like a lot of fun. I really did enjoy that report. And I hope next year is even better. So I've really been enjoying the, everything that's out there. Loving everybody's stuff. I think I mentioned to Chris that this is like your best year. You're just so confident in comparison to previous years. So it's really exciting. Got a couple of Miss Melissa. We've got a couple of Craig Stebb. We got a couple of people just dropping in little things. That's cool. And then I know I've been babbling, but I'm going to just kind of wrap up. Everybody was talking about the puppet episode of Strange New Worlds, and I'm not going to spoil nothing. Don't worry about that. And I had been looking forward to it. I was so excited that there was going to be a puppet episode, and I love the puppets. I loved how they made them. I love all of that. But I had 2 episodes that I hadn't watched, the puppet episode and the one right before that, the black and white episode. Again, I'm not spoiling anything, but each of them had a gimmick. And you know what? I liked the black and white one better. Maybe I had my hopes a little too high for the puppet episode. Like the Angel puppet episode is one of the best Angel episodes. So, and I'm such a big Muppet fan. Maybe my expectations were too high. I enjoyed all the puppet stuff. It didn't feel as rewarding and as good of an episode, as other episodes have been. And certain things, they didn't mean anything in the end. And it's kind of disappointing, but still enjoyable. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying, like, the black and white episode, I enjoyed that even more. I thought that was really good. So yeah. And Tech watched it with me. He actually watched the black and white and the puppet episode with me because he wanted to watch the puppet episode. And I was like, I can't skip this because I don't know if it's going to be important. And so we watched them both back to back. And he's like, is every one of these episodes has a gimmick like this? I was like, well, no, but a lot of them do. They don't all, but a lot of them do. You've got the crossover with Lower Decks. You've got the there was the singing one. You've got, there's a lot of little gimmicky things. But you know what? I kind of like it. It's part of the charm. They're trying different things. It's Strange New Worlds. They're doing strange new things, and that's okay. So, yeah, so that's where I am. So this is a little bit of a meta episode, I guess. As Nix would say, I'm breaking the fourth wall. Although I don't think there's a fourth wall here, but hey, whatever. Yeah. All right, folks. Talk to you later. And we'll see what tomorrow morning brings. Nutty Bites is produced by Nimlas Studios under a Creative Commons Attribution No Commercial Non-Derivatives 3.0 International License. That means you can't change it without my permission. You can share it and send it to your friends. Just link back to me, my site, and everything. We live at nimlas.org, which has links to everything social media, including facebook.com/group/nuttybites and patreon.com/nukejoss, or call 347-NUTTY42.